Welcome to Monday Morning Methane. Today, I have the privilege to be joined by the co-founder of SAGA Wisdom, John Thompson. Welcome, John.
Thank you very much, Thomas. How are you?
I'm great. I feel so good wearing my SAGA Wisdom
It, it,
swag hat to work today.
it looks good on you. Yeah.
I wear it every day, just so you know, not just
Okay.
for Monday Morning Methane.
I
Yeah.
need a Highwood hat, I guess.
Yeah, I think you have one. I gotta get you one. For anyone who doesn't know, maybe just we can kick things off. You can share a little bit about, what is Saga Wisdom, and as the co-founder, why did you start it?
Yeah, SAGA Wisdom is a digital learning company that's focused on addressing the training needs for oil and gas operating companies. At least that's how we started, with a real strong emphasis on unconventional reservoirs. These are the tight fractured reservoirs like shales that you may have heard of. That's where we started. Our focus on curriculum. But we're extending, obviously, in the field of emissions through our partners at Highwood and other spaces to sort of comprehensively cover all the needs for all aspects of energy training. And so we're really excited about how we're blossoming out with a broader spectrum of courses in different parts of the energy industry. We were inspired by a couple companies. One was MasterClass, for those that are familiar with it. MasterClass, of course, takes the best of the best and provides training from them in whatever topic it happens to be. For us, it happens to be a lot of technical sciences and courses and some of the techniques and practices that operating companies use as sort of their incumbent practices to characterize, develop reservoirs, and all the other things that go with that. And the other company that really got us going was Netflix, because we decided a long time ago, when we had these crossroads decisions as entrepreneurs in developing, a tech startup. We were like, how are we going to do it? Well, we liked that Netflix didn't sell single movies to single people. They sold all the movies in a bundled subscription offering, vis-a-vis a streaming service. And we're like, that's what we're going to do. And we're going to sell it to individuals, but mostly, enterprise deals or corporate deals with entire companies. So everybody on their staff, irrespective of their position or job title, they've got access to all of this wonderful education. So that's how we did it. And we started 6 years ago, and we're starting to have a lot of success.
That's awesome. So your customers are oil and gas companies primarily, and
Primarily, I like to talk about where we're at versus where we'd like to be. And where we're at, of course, you've got to start somewhere. We started with the people that we've been selling other products to over the course of our careers over the last 20 years. And a lot of those are the logos that are domestic. These are Canadian and American oil and gas operating companies. Roughly, like, I don't know, like half of our companies are Canada, or maybe a little less than half, and the rest is US, with a sprinkling of international traction right now. We're doing quite well domestically, and our opportunity for growth is certainly the international or export markets.
Mhm.
And some
Uh,
service companies too, I should mention. That's trying to grow there.
I've watched a few courses myself, uh,
Just looking
as
at
I get up to
yourself,
speed
or
on. So, in addition to being obviously one of the most reputable, if not the most reputable source of training for oil and gas industry online, you also have a larger than life mascot. Can you tell me a bit about this mascot? I saw it appear on LinkedIn the other day.
Yeah, I wish I had a picture of that ready to show you. But his name, he's got a name, his name is Frody the Wise. And we
Uh-huh.
debuted Frody at URTEC, which is the Unconventional Reservoir Technology Exhibition and Conference in Houston at the George Brown. And I'm embarrassed to say how much money we spent on the development, building of Frody the Wise. He is the same budget that you would use for an NFL mascot, but he's a larger than life and larger than human being, caricature person. And I had a lot of fun wearing him and walking around the exhibition floor, making friends. And it's hot in there, but with cooling vests and fans in the head, it's not so bad. And it was a ton of fun, and certainly something that oil and gas engineers and geologists aren't used to seeing at a conference. So
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Saga likes to be a little bit different than the norm, for sure.
Well, it makes it easier to make friends when you're running around in a giant
Yeah,
NFL
yeah.
mascot suit. So I mean, I think a lot of the viewers today probably have never been on Sega Wisdom platform, and I know you guys really have done a lot to innovate in terms of, like, how how to tailor education so that it's effective and accessible and engaging and interesting. What makes the Saga Wisdom different, awesome? I mean, maybe you could even show us how it works briefly, to give the listeners a sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll just share my screen here, assuming I can get these tools to work. Here we go. So I'll start by showing you the platform. Yeah, let me get rid of that there. So can you see this all right, Thomas?
Yeah,
Okay, so you're just looking at just after our main splash page, which is sagawisdom.com. If you go slash courses, oh, look at that pretty guy right
yeah,
there. You're dealing with our marketing site. And from the marketing site, you can get into our app to take some of our courses. But let's just start by looking at the marketing site. So, courses, you can see the various buckets for some of the themes or topics for a lot of our training, or the subject matter that's contained within the platform that we have here. The categories, of course, we have clean energy, where emissions management and methane education would fall within, but not just limited to that. We're dealing with things like lithium and hydrogen and probably helium soon, and other things like sustainability, ESG, geothermal, you name it. We have quite an offering here just in clean energy, which of course matters to E&Ps and operating companies as they start to diversify themselves to not to move away from fossil fuels necessarily, but we call this sort of the energy addition or the adjacencies. And so that's all
mhm,
available here. Then there's computing and data science, which does quite well for us. So if you click in here, you're getting a spectrum of courses in, say, Spotfire and Python and Power BI and AI type courses. And, I could go on and on. We have roughly 100 courses out right now. We're really well known for reservoir engineering because 3 of the 4 founders of Saga are reservoir engineers coming from a company called Fiquet, which actually was the inspiration for Saga because that company's was based on a culture of education and training and supporting customers by providing, free education in the hope that they would buy our software products, and that sort of worked, uh, with that company. But outside of the technical courses, there's also courses in leadership and essential skills training and all the things that would come with that. So we are trying to be very comprehensive. We're very focused on the upstream side of the energy sector, but we're getting into more midstream courses through facilities. We hope to go downstream, and I'm talking about upgrading and refining and process engineering, and like I said, all aspects, all parts of the buffalo, as they say. So, having fun with that. If you take a look at some of the partners, of course, Highwood Emissions Management is a very prized and valuable partner of Saga. So, we've joined forces to provide the best education available in the world today through the most contemporary and powerful tools, digital tools. And so we now have modules that we have created through the curation of subject matter experts at Highwood, like yourself, to talk about different ways they can get different bundles or programs or modules of training. And so we've got sort of executive level, and we know executives don't have much time, so you can get just 2 hours of critical insights and information on what's going on in the world of emissions and methane, and OGMP and things for the EU. So that's all in there. Then if you want to do a little bit more, there's certified gas modules with, a few more hours, and then there's the full expansive guide. So there's something for everyone, depending on, are you the sustainability team leader? Do you need to have comprehensive training in all aspects of it? Then that's probably bundle number 3, if you will, or module number 3. So we're excited for all of that. But the courses themselves, if I was to just show the courses just from Highwood, because there are a lot, we've got, an offering from you and Jessica and Jeff and Brennan and Chelsea. And so I want to count these things: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 courses out already. And so, I want to thank you guys for help really beefing this up for us and making it a flagship offering in our platform. When you want to get into the actual tech, which I think is really exciting for those people who want to see, okay, what does it look like? As I play it, we have these cute little things, and if I don't know if you, but Tom's doing a little song wearing the Saga Viking branded horns, because Saga, for those who don't know, is the Norse goddess of wisdom and storytelling, and also the drinking companion of Odin. So she's not one of the most recognizable goddesses in Viking mythology, but You've heard of Thor and Odin and Loki. Well, Saga was one of the many goddesses there, and so that was the origin of our icon, and why we've taken our branding the way we have. We're having a lot of fun with it. Of course, we're being silly, as you can see through some of the videos here, and I appreciate you strumming on the guitar and helping us make it more fun. Um, some of the tech, just to show you a couple features. Yes, everything's transcribed, and this is very scrutinized. We make sure all the words are right. But you can click anywhere in the transcription. It goes to that point in the platform. We have lots of tabs where you can ask the instructor questions, download resources, which could be exercise files or PDFs of the slides. You can create digital notes. You can hover over terms and get the definitions of terms. You can embed hyperlinks to references or citations, things that we might refer to as metadata to enhance the learning experience and to provide more resources in deep dive areas for in-depth learning. And then the syllabus is on the left-hand side. So it's a ton of fun, and it makes learning easy, and it makes it mobile and accessible and efficient. And for those people that are experts, they can skip over the preamble and jump to the end where the meat is for them. And for the people that are beginners or they need to review this stuff over and over, they can do that. And you can hop around to your heart's content. So I don't have to take a whole course if what I'm looking for is specific. And if I want to know something about methane, I can type in a search term and I can filter it down based on author. And there's Thomas. Okay. And I can look for something maybe more specific by giving a prompt or a search term with a little bit more specificity. And I could say, well, I don't know, whatever you want. But when I click on these things, it helps drive me to what it is that I'm looking for in a couple clicks. And so it makes the tech powerful because you can get to what you need when you need it really, really fast. And so there's a lot more I could show you, but that's the broad brush overview to give people a bit of a sense of what it looks like and how it works.
That's really fantastic, John. Thanks for giving us the rundown. I'm a huge fan of the platform, and it's been amazing for us to have the opportunity to share our knowledge so easily and freely. And of course, you have a recording studio just down the street, so we're able to, our experts can walk a block and pop in and record their stuff, and it's all ready to go and get that out to the world. It's amazing all of the different experts you have from different industries within the platform. So we've heard nothing but positive feedback from our customers who have been taking these courses, and really encourage others to check it out if they haven't done so in the past. So the last 30 seconds, John, what's next for SAGA? I mean, you've done so much already. Where are you going next?
Well, you know what? As much as we've got about 100 courses out and you saw the various categories of courses, we're just scratching the surface. I'm not going to be satisfied until we have hundreds of courses comprehensively covering everything by industry's top experts. I don't want to end it upstream for unconventionals or onshore type work. I want to get into midstream, downstream, renewables and everything in energy. There's opportunities for SAGA as a technology provider to jump into different industries. It's all about growth. And so I want more customers. I want to grow existing customers. Highwood is a strategic part of the growth within customers that are already subscribers, because we're looking to get more and different profiles of types of users at existing companies. So we get adoption and we grow. And to do that, you have to give everybody in the company something that they want. And so if I'm vice president of operations and my team needs to get up to speed rapidly to prepare for the European Union and their standards and what they need. And like, I want to make sure that like that could be a whole bunch of new users for SAGA that we didn't currently have using our platform before. And so for me, it's about expanding my network and meeting new people and getting exposed to parts of the industry that I don't really have a strong competency or background in. So this is a really exciting and privileged position for me, because now it's not just head down reservoir engineering for reservoir engineers. It's all things. And my mind is really like exploding with like all the new types of conversations and people and network that I'm growing. So that keeps the job really exciting. And yeah, I mean, onwards and upwards.
John, thank you for joining Monday Morning Methane, and thank you for your partnership.
Thank you so much for yours.